Hey class, welcome to week one. Just wanted to kind of go over a little bit of insight on this class. Typically, this is not your first class here, so the assumption is that you know how to maneuver through the discussion forums and stuff like that. So I just wanted to kind of give you some information here, a little bit of information on the assignment that's due on Sunday. I post this early in the week so that students get an opportunity to actually access the information. It's always good to kind of prep. I always say that it's good to watch this video, but watch it again a second time later, and also go through the directions prior to attempting. So my advice is, and this, if you're seeing this here, this could be your time when I created this video. Like this could be your actual dates. If not, don't worry. But I would say for the Sunday due assignments, always come in on Wednesday and try to watch this video again or watch it for the first time and then also read directions. Now, these tutorials, I do make them required to watch, but I also require that this isn't the only thing that you should be using as a source to read the directions. Okay, so there's multiple ways to get to the Sunday due assignment. The easiest way is just clicking on it right here. Okay, and it takes you to this area. Okay, you want to make sure that you're reading everything here, and if there's one or more multiple attachments, please do so. Okay, in preparation for the assignment, you also want to make sure you're in the proper week, which this week's week one. Now, these are the tasks, but here's the study material. So this is where you can click on to find the book, tells you the chapters to read for the week. Here's some media stuff that you could actually watch. It takes you to Films on Demand. There's segments it'll have you look at. And then there's other information here that helps you also answer DQ1 and 2 as well. So there's anatomy, there's the brain, and then here's the biological psychology video. The brain one right here would be a good one to actually watch as well. All these as well too, because you'll get some really good information on how to understand the brain itself. Okay, so just make sure you are looking at that stuff as well. Okay, there's also a rubric right here that gives you a detailed information on how the assignment's graded. Okay, and what's required of it. Okay, so this is something to kind of read and understand. I always say concentrate on the excellent part. That's what I would do, because you want to make sure you understand what's required from you from the highest level so that that's what you actually accomplish. Okay. One of the things it says here that your citations and documentations of citations. So you still have to make sure you cite things because you're going to be using information that obviously is related to the brain. And I'm sure that we're not all surgeons in this class, brain surgeons. So you have to find out what you're going to use and cite that. Okay. So let me go ahead and open up this worksheet here for you and kind of show you what it looks like. All right. So first things first, again, read through the directions. Just do not um, take what video me talking also read. So if you need to pause and read, it's fine. You can wait till the video ends and read. It's okay. But the first step, there's two parts to this, by the way. Okay, there's two parts. Here's part one, answering questions, and here's part two. Okay, so there's two different parts to it. They're really simple parts too. All right. So one of the things that you're going to do is you're going to pick a brain. Okay. Here's the choices right here. All right. There's a list of parts of the brains that you can choose. So let's say I will choose the frontal lobe. Then I'm going to go out and I'm going to go do find some sources. You can conduct research using internet sources, which is fine, library sources, and the textbook. I would use a combination. Okay, don't just use one. Some students will use internet sources and also textbook, which is fine. Some students will want to find the GCU library sources, which is fine too. But if you use an internet source, make sure it's a credible source. Wikipedia is not credible. Okay. If you see something from like Psychology Today, or if you're like on WebMD or something like that that talks about the brain part, fine. But make sure you use at least a couple. All right. Um, and what you're going to do is you're going to come through here and you're going to answer these 6 questions right here. Now, there is a minimum word count. Okay. I'm going to highlight that and cover that in red. Minimum of 50 words. The 50 word count does not include the citation. Okay, so you have to cite. You have to cite and reference. Okay, that's the requirement. If you do not, if you just throw references down here and there's no citations, it's going to be a point deduction. Okay, references do not replace citations. They go hand in hand. When you cite something in the body of an essay or an assignment, like let's say I'm going to write my answer by explaining where the area of the frontal lobe is and where's it structured, where is it located. When I type my full answer, I'm going to write at least 50 words. There's no quoting in this too. Okay, so you will receive a major deduction for quoting. No quoting. This should be in your own words. Let's say I use 50 words, over 50 words to explain this, to answer this question. Then I'm going to cite by last name, comma, year, or name of publication, like Psychology Today, frontal lobe, comma, the year of the publication, whatever the citation is, you got to make sure. Each answer gets a citation, okay? Each answer gets over 50 words to explain. Now, if it's under 50 words and no citation, it's a point deduction. Okay, so keep that in mind. No quoting. So you'll drop your at least two references down here. Okay, and that takes care of part 1 of the general psychology. Okay. Part 2, if you come here, is now you have to design a model or a picture or some kind of thing that you're going to use to help show uh, the location or some kind of aspect or drawing or something that depicts the part of the brain that you use. So frontal lobe, some to give you, or any of the part of the body. So let's say if I was to use the frontal lobe, I could draw a design on a paper and just color it where the area of the frontal lobe and have an arrow pointing to it saying frontal lobe. I can, you could use food, which a lot of students will use food, some kind of food, noodles or something like that, or whatever. They come together and they put it on paper or some kind of hard model they can make, household items, whatever. Just be creative. You can create a mnemonic device. Like some students will, you know, put some kind of like words on paper to help create something that helps somebody remember and learn where that part of the brain is. I've had students design T-shirts, which is really cool. If you're one that really loves art and you want credit for that, you can. You can compose a bumper sticker, put it on a piece of paper, and just like what motto would you do with the logo on it? Make sure there's a logo with the motto. You can create a cartoon structure. I've had some students do that as well. Some of them they get a little funny, like they'll create a cartoon and they'll put some humor in it, which is fine. But whatever you decide to choose, you choose one of these. Okay. You do have to insert the picture. You can insert it down here. Okay. You have to be in the picture. That is a requirement. All right. It says here, right here, that students must be included in the picture holding the final product or credit will not be awarded. So if you complete part 1 and not part 2, that's like 50%, right? If you complete part 1 and put a logo down here or a picture of a t-shirt or a finished product and you're not in the picture, technically you don't get credit for part 2. Okay, so we want to make sure it's authenticated with the student being in the picture. Okay, so I hope this has been very helpful in explaining and to understand this assignment. If you have any questions or concerns about any of this, please let me know ahead of time. Hopefully you've watched this video on Monday or Tuesday or before Wednesday so you can ask questions before the weekend when I'm not in the office. Okay, good luck everyone.